Hi guys, sorry about the last video where we were interrupted pretty abruptly. Essentially, there was an error message, and the video stopped broadcasting thanks to that. So I'm not sure if it's the whatever program PS4 uses to broadcast on Twitch that crashed or something. But anyways, so you weren't able to see me get my brand new chest piece, which will bring us one step closer to looking kind of sort of like Captain Marvel. Yes, the texture, there's a weird texture, and it looks like pretty much a metallic armor, but it's as close as we can get. It'll be either that or the Captain Marvel T-shirt from the vault. But for the one from the vault, we have to get lucky, really lucky, as opposed to this one. It just required a little skill and a lot of patience in PvP. So, and now that I've reached level 12, you can say I can switch role to healer. So I made myself a healer armory. So I'm going to be able to switch from DPS to healer as needed. I won't do um a healer video yet. Odds are I'll probably wait until I can get what's the power I want. I'll probably wait until I can get galvanize because that's my heal over time, and it's going to be a bit useful to show you some videos about healing. So for now, I'll just keep on doing the missions, the mission where I'm left. So essentially, the next mission was Worlds of Tomorrow, which ironically is right next to where I did set up my base. So I may give a name to my base. Let's say rename base. Let's call it. Let's try that. Thunder and lightning. Well, what do you know? It worked. So we have to go to Chinatown, the Chinatown police station to be able to get our mission from, I think it's Zatanna. So let's go there. Essentially, these would pretty much have been some of the early missions as a magic character, I think. And the missions in this area are really the starting missions of a magic character. Although we can do them fairly quickly also. Oh, I heard there's something.
Metro Transit. Current transit time is 2 minutes. Metro Transit. Faster than a speeding bullet.
You can see some disconnected players, possibly PS3 players. Poor little guy, he was stuck in between the two of us. Sometimes that happens, like while you're talking to an NPC, other players will gather around you and then they'll trap you, sort of. Usually it happens by accident, but sometimes it does happen on purpose, like blocking the doors. At some point, I guess a lot of people were bored or didn't know what to do because holy crap, there was a lot of people blocking doors at some point. And I remember when we would mention that on the forums, people would be like, "Whoa, there's nothing the devs can do. You cannot change human nature." And strangely enough, yes, you can. The devs made the doors bigger, and that pretty much solved the problem since then. So essentially, you can see we can take our first wanted poster. So we will do that. So you may notice how faster it is to be able to travel around Metropolis right now. Uh, there's a side mission, but let's take it. Oh, that was fairly simple. There should be. Where is it? Oh, there it is. So as you can see, my first power will essentially it creates an aura on two. Not sure if it is the two nearest enemies or just two enemies, but the other one is Arc Lightning, where you can see it creates a lightning that stuns and damages our opponents. As I mentioned before, like usually I will put range powers on the triangle button, like this one, or this one. This is sort of like a bit of a healing power I have. And this is my crowd control. Like essentially the first power, the name escapes me right now. It creates two auras that damages enemies over time. So two enemies will take damage, X amount of damage every seconds, as long as the ability lasts. So usually you start with the damage over time, And then as the creature gets damaged, you even do more damage by attacking it with weapons or other powers. Or you can stun it like that. As you see, the stuns seems to work fairly well. So I've stunned all those guys with arc lightning. I mentioned previously in other videos how some weapon combos sadly are no longer useful now that we have weapon mastery. Like this is one of those, which for the longest time I would well, when I started using End Blaster, this was probably my favorite combo. I would use it all the time. Not that the other combos weren't good. There's this one that actually is quite decent. But somehow I really enjoyed this one. And also it was a block breaker. I mentioned at some point how I pretty much became a spam block breaker at some point. So just doing this, as soon as the NPC would block, he would end up on his backside. So that was like the main power the main skill I used for quite a long time. Hi there. I apologize. My comments aren't enabled, so if you leave me a comment, I won't really see it. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, this was a combo I would use all the time before. And then when Weapon Mastery was released, uh, it pretty much replaced every single combo. I say every single weapon combos. Like there was really no point in doing weapon combos unless you were doing weapon mastery combos. So for the longest time, when once weapon mastery was introduced, all I would do was weapon mastery combos. And then lately they gave a bit of a buff to some combos like this one. So I've been using this one a bit more than I used to. But even then, once you have access to weapon mastery, uh, there's little point in using anything else, especially if you're playing a role. Like if you're let's say a controller, you're going to use weapon mastery to try to do a bit of extra damage. As a DPS, you can decide not to use weapon mastery and just use the advanced mechanics. So we have various objectives around here. And you can see on the mini map, the area we have to cover is not that big. So if there's a handful of other players with yourself, it may get crowded a bit. Oh, they disappeared. Also, as you just saw, that's another reason why I sort of stopped using that combo. Is that at some point they made it so that you can get interrupted the whole time you're doing this. Essentially, it no longer block breaks whenever you do this, or should I say, it block breaks right then as you start doing it. But then if the character blocks after you start using your combo, it will not block break them. Like it used to block break characters through the whole combo, but now it's only at the very beginning of the combo. If when you start doing the combo, the character is blocking, then yes, you will block break it. But for everything else, it will not block break it. But the whole time you do this, you can get interrupted. So they have this thingy about risk versus rewards. But here it's all risk and very little rewards. And as you can see, I'm getting beaten up. So let's see if I cannot use my word of power. Uh, I don't need to. And you can see some of the electric abilities still return to you some health, even if you're not as a healer. But you'll heal quite a lot more as a healer than you will as a DPS, obviously.
That Promethean flame will draw the information out of those bestiomorphs, no matter how the poor beasts try to protect their mistress.
Let's try our new supercharge. So as you saw, I did a bit of damage. It did knock back a few enemies. It did give us a bit of life, and it probably gave us a bit of power too. But I think I was pretty much full anyway, so I didn't really notice how much it gave me. So here, if you like, you can pretty much start. Let's say you could decide to start with your damage over time or your dots, as they say. And once your dot gets started, then your enemy takes damage, and then you add to that with your attack. Although in some cases you probably could just run your dots and let the dot do the work. As you can see his health going down. Oh yeah, and now we're level unlucky 13.
Seriously creating a ritual to swap Giganta's mind into Wonder Girl's body. This is really big. No pun intended.
So now we can move on to the next stage of our quests. Nothing really worth
Circe
it.
has enchanted those Sisyphean stones to prevent you from passing through. Destroy them. We must stop the ritual Circe and Giganta have planned for Wonder Girl.
So we're going to go destroy some stones and fight some Bestiamorph some more. I'm not sure why there's a villain who's. That's not a big deal. Sometimes you'll see people in the PvE phase who are flagged as if they were in the PvP phase. Not sure why. And ultimately, it doesn't really matter unless they attack you. I don't know if you've noticed, like the crowd control didn't seem to work on the Rhino. Could be that he's resistant to it, or maybe really completely immune. They seem to have made a change. I could have sworn that we needed more than just 5 stones. I seem to recall there was some complaint that the stones sometimes would not give out what was needed for the quest. Some new gloves. Won't say no to that. I have also 2 skill points. Uh, let's put them here. There we go. So the next time we'll go inside this building. So thanks for watching, and until then, bye bye.